Hey, what's up, guys? Before we start, let me know, do you guys want to hear news from around the world that isn't just Vegas, kind of in the same format as what I'm doing today? I could start another channel. I won't mix and match my Vegas with my non-Vegas, but let me know in the comments below if that's something you want, or maybe you say, no, are you kidding me? I don't even know why I'm watching you. You suck. Either way, let me know in the comments below. So here's the video for today. Action. The Golden Knights are very generous. William Hornbuckle, I swear that's his real name, from MGM Resorts, the CEO, seems generous, but there's a bunch of strings attached to all that. How many cases in Nevada? When will it all peak and how bad will it get? And the tale of two very different stories about how we will recover and how we will just be done for a long time. My name's Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger, and we're going to talk about the news today. And do me a favor, if you like this kind of stuff, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for the future notifications, leave a comment below. You can comment on whether you want a different channel where I talk about daily news from around everywhere, or you can comment on whether or not you think that it's generous for a CEO to do what he did today. And if you want to be in the credits of the video, go over to Patreon. You can see videos that I can't post up here on YouTube because I don't pass YouTube's content filter. We talk about adults only kind of stuff over there too. So that'll be in the link description in the first comment. All right, so the Golden Knights. Wow, the Golden Knights have stepped it up. I talked about the Raiders the other day, $1 million donation. Well, the Golden Knights have already donated $1 million, but you know, you're a hockey team. You're not an NFL franchise, so it doesn't get as much notoriety, and that's just the hierarchy of sports. I'm sure where you're from, there's one sport that rules them all, and then smaller ones that people like passionately. And the Golden Knights already donated $1 million. It was $500,000 between the team owners, like the franchise itself, and $500,000 between all the players. So I give them a lot of credit for that, but they've elevated and stepped it up. They're donating 7,500 meals, ready to eat, hot, ready, and good, to all the local hospitals around town. They started doing that yesterday. Now, just in contrast here, if you guys don't know, when it comes to American sports, you have basically the National Football League up here, Major League Baseball, National Basketball Association, National Hockey League, and then you have other sports. And some would even argue that the NHL might be eclipsed by stuff like Major League Soccer, depending. Now, I love hockey. I could go into a 20-minute rant on how everybody should give it a chance, but the Golden Knights really stepping it up, and I'm proud to see that. Next up, in charitable terms, we talk about William Hornbuckle. He is the MGM Resorts International CEO, and his salary got reduced too. It went from $1.4 to $1.1 million a year. Now, we can talk about how much big CEOs from companies make all day, and we can say, shame on them, nobody needs to make that much money. But the truth is that they have very specialized abilities that we don't have. I don't, that I couldn't run a major gaming corporation, and probably you couldn't either. And as the old saying goes, if you want to get paid a lot of money, you just have to be super valuable and have a skill that nobody else knows how to do. Now, he did take a cut in his salary. Why, though? You got to ask why. Why did all of the others, like the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and everything, take a cut? It sounds great because they want to get through and weather the storm and make sure the company's healthy and take care of their employees, right? But then you realize that there's this act that was passed, and it says that large corporations have to show that they're reducing their budgets in order to even qualify for federal funding going forward. So if they have any kind of zero interest loans from the government, or heaven forbid a bailout, I don't think we should bail out resort companies, although they do power the entire economic system of Las Vegas. Yeah, it might not have been for all good reasons, but hey, look, the guy's getting paid 300 grand less. And if you were making $100,000 a year and all of a sudden you're making 80,000, that's a big hit to your budget. So it is what it is. But speaking of when this all ends and when the MGM fires up again, when is this all going to end? That's the question, right? And it looks like they're predicting the peak in Nevada will be April 20th or April 21st. These are based on the models, you know, and as Dr. Fauci always says, the models are only as good as the information that you feed them, and it's true. Back in the day when computers were just code that you see in movies now where they go click, 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 and the computer, it's so fake, Hollywood's so fake. But back in the day, computers were all just code. Put in bad code, get a bad result. That's the way it works. So the model, whether it's good or not, says April 21st, April 22nd. We have 1,800 cases here and only 46 deaths. That is an amazing miracle, and I'm so happy that we're not worse off, and I'm so sad about the people that lost their lives already. But at the same time, the model is predicting April 21st, and somehow it's predicting 25 deaths a day towards the end. I don't know how that is the case. I mean, they might know something that I don't, but let's just pray that that never comes to pass. And it's tough because what happens when we're done with all this? What happens when we're finished? Well, there's two different reports from two different sources that say, one model says Nevada is in for the hardest economic recovery ever, and we have the worst economy after in the entire country. And they base that on a few different factors. They're basing that on exposure to the virus, the travel, tourism, finance industry, and commodities. Commodities, of course, are stuff like minerals, oil. You know, if you pump all the oil in Texas or you get all the oil in Louisiana, you have a better chance at recovery. We do some mining here. I'm almost positive there's uranium mines in Nevada. I know for a fact there's gold and silver. Heck, we're nicknamed the Silver State. We're nicknamed the Battle-Born State. Fun comment below if you guys know why we're called the Battle-Born State. Go ahead and tell everybody. I know, but most people don't know. And maybe I'll do a whole video on that in the future. So we have 5 things working against us. So that says the recovery here will be terrible, right? Well, another report from another independent source says that the recovery here will be like a V. You know, a V like, hey, you're bottoming out and you're shooting back up again in the form of a V. And it says that that's because people afterwards are going to want to escape. They're going to want to get out of town. They're going to want to go somewhere, anywhere other than what they've looked at on the way to the grocery store or the gas station, the only things that are open right now. They don't want to see their 4 walls of their house anymore. They want to come to Las Vegas. And I think if Las Vegas plays its cards right, realizes that the economy is going to be deeply in a recession, if not a mini recession for a short period, and that people don't have the money, they could provide awesome value and awesome amounts of reasons for people to come to Las Vegas. But on the other hand, if they don't, then it's going to be really tough for them because you know Disney can just reduce the prices of things. Nobody likes to make less money, but Disney has parks on both sides of the country. We have other attractions that people could go to. There's Six Flags in Texas, and if a person in Texas wanted to just drive, they could just drive. You have other destinations constantly competing for the tourism dollars. If those areas lower their prices, get rid of the resort fees possibly, and draw in tourists, Las Vegas could be looking at empty buildings for a long time. So hopefully the travel and tourism industry decides here, we need to change things. We need to make it more people friendly. And I know what they'll do if they do that. Let's be honest. They'll just reduce the prices in the future. They have in the past, and they'll probably do that now. But I would love to see some great locals deals from casinos. I'd love to see some great good deals from people coming into town and see you guys back in Vegas. Whether or not you think you should come in May if they open or in June, or if you're one of the people that says it's July, August, September, you tell me in the comments below because it'll be interesting to see. In other news that doesn't really apply to Vegas, it's the second report says that we're going to be the 3rd hardest hit. The other 2 being Louisiana, where it's a hot spot right now, and Rhode Island, which completely I don't understand. So if you guys know anybody from Rhode Island, you tell me why you think Rhode Island is going to be one of the worst, ahead of Nevada when it comes to this stuff. As Rhode Island, I don't know much about it. They have clams and they have nice people. I've met some really nice people from Rhode Island in the past. So that's the news for today. If you guys want to be in the credits, you can be in the credits on Patreon. If you guys want me to do another news channel where I'm separate and I'm not talking about Vegas all the time, you guys can let me know in the comments below. Give me a like on the video if you could. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell for future notifications. We got some rainstorms coming into town tonight. You can kind of maybe hear the wind behind me, but it's still beautiful, and I still wish you were here, and I still wish I wasn't locked up in my house, and I still wish that I could make some money at my day job because like all of you, it's starting to get tough on us. Man, oh man, boy, oh boy. God bless you all. Have a great one out there. Now's the time of the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click. So 3, 2, 1, and click.